The Education Act, Part 4, Independent Schools. Section 25, Registration of Independent Schools. So these would be private schools. Subsection 1. The minister shall appoint an officer of the Ministry of Education to be the registrar of independent schools, in this act referred to as the registrar, and shall furnish him with a certificate of appointment. Subsection 2. The registrar shall keep a register to be known as the Register of Independent Schools, and such register shall be open to public inspection at all times. Subsection 3. Whenever the registrar is satisfied that there is any error in the Register of Independent Schools, or any omission therefrom, he shall forthwith rectify the error or omission. Subsection 4. Subject to the provisions of Subsection 5, the registrar shall provisionally register in the Register of Independent Schools any independent school for the registration of which the proprietor thereof makes an application in the prescribed manner and furnishes the prescribed particulars. Subsection 5. No application under subsection 4 may be made in respect to an independent school where, pursuant to the provisions of this part, the proprietor is dissatisfied or is disqualified from being the proprietor of an independent school, or the school premises are disqualified from being used as a school, or if the school premises are used or proposed to be used for any purpose for which they are disqualified by virtue of the provisions of this part. So again, they say no application under subsection 4 may be made. Okay, so the proprietor, whoever, the business person who is setting up the school, maybe this is probably disqualified, or the premises, the school grounds are not satisfactory, then no application will be considered. Alright, subsection 6. The registrar shall, as soon as may be after an independent school has been provisionally registered, cause the school to be inspected and thereafter refer to the Independent Schools Committee, A, the application for registration, B, the particulars furnished, and C, the inspection report. In relation to the school, so the committee, the independent committee, we look at these in relation to the school for the recommendations of the Independent Schools Committee as to whether the school should or should not be registered under this act. Subsection 7. The registrar shall, upon receipt of the recommendation of the Independent Schools Committee, A, they shall register the school finally in the Register of Independent Schools and give notice to the proprietor that the school has been registered, and B, if the Independent Schools Committee is of opinion that the school is objectionable upon all or any of the grounds specified in subsection 1 of 27, they shall serve upon the proprietor a notice of complaint under that section. Okay. Subsection 8. If after the expiration of 6 months from the 1st of September 1973, A, any person A. Conducts an independent school, whether established before or after the 1st of September 1973, which is not a registered school or a provisionally registered school or a school in respect of which an application has been made to register for provisional registration, or B. Being the proprietor of an independent school, if they does any act calculated to lead to the belief that the school is a registered school while it is a provisionally registered school. So I guess provisionally mean it's temporarily registered but not fully as yet. So if the proprietor tells the public that it is a fully registered school when it is not fully registered as yet, or what they say in A again, they conduct an independent school which is not a registered school or is just provisionally registered. Okay, so if somebody does that, they shall be guilty of an offense under this section and shall be liable on summary conviction before a resident magistrate court in the case of a first conviction to a fine not exceeding $40, and in the case of a second or subsequent conviction to a fine not exceeding $100, or to imprisonment with or without hard labor for a term not exceeding 3 months, or to both such fine and imprisonment. So if you set up a school and it's not registered, is not fully registered, and you try to trick the public into thinking that it is fully registered so they should send their children there, you are liable to be imprisoned for 3 months or a fine of $40. And in the case of a second, that's for the first conviction, subsequent convictions, $100. So all the judges in Jamaica put together cannot fine you more than $40 for the first and not more than $100 for the second and other convictions. Right. Section 26, Independent Schools Committee. We will look at that in our next video.